This episode is brought to you by Skinny Pop Popcorn. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Oh, so light and crunchy. Skinny Pop Original Popcorn is the snack you've been searching for. Made with just 3 simple ingredients: popcorn kernels, sunflower oil, and salt. Snacking never felt or tasted so good. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Give yourself permission to snack and pick up Skinny Pop Original Popcorn today.
To Unequal Prequel
Extra.
Do you think we have to do this for the whole episode? Do you think that would be funny?
No, I think it's gone too far already.
I think it's a nice teaser for what we're reviewing today.
I can't keep this up.
Or it sounds we both lost our voices.
Yeah. It sounds like we've had some sort of breakdown.
that is a realm of possibilities. What's happening this week? To be honest, feels like a weird week for me, Rich. I don't know about you.
Yeah, my week looked on Monday to be nice and calm and steady, and actually, loads of shit went wrong.
That sounds like a normal week for you.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah.
I'm more
Basically
surprised when
that.
nothing happens to you.
It's a good point. That's a good point. Oh, we're heading into summer now, so work is extra mental because there's going to be 6 weeks of like calmness when most of my job is shut, so I can just chill out and get things done.
And you're like, calm down, guys. Calm down.
It's just everything that could have gone wrong has gone wrong.
That's normal.
It's just one of those weeks.
I'm still living in a post Taylor Swift world, so I live.
Nice.
There's before and after a Taylor Swift album concert now, I think, in my life, and I was looking forward to another concert this weekend. I was meant to go and see Pearl Jam in London. That was exciting. 2 concerts, two weekends, and then a day before we were meant to go and see Pearl Jam, they've cancelled because Eddie Vedder's got a bad voice apparently, and not rescheduling. So we're just. Money back. So now here I am on this Saturday recording with you. Yes. A little bit lost, to be honest. So,
mate. Well, we've had the Grand Prix sprint race already.
It was rubbish.
You got quali this afternoon. It was rubbish. Yeah, it's true. There was one overtake. You got quali this afternoon, no?
Yeah.
Right? That's something.
That's something to hold on to.
You're going for a nice walk.
Nice walk. Might have a drink by the water, and then obviously there's the Mall Grand Prix and football tomorrow, and I've got to do some editing tomorrow, and but we had a nice little trip out to the cinema, didn't we? A nice team trip to the cinema.
Yep, pod trip to the cinema, the 2 of us.
Very pleasant.
A Quiet Place. Was it A Quiet Place Day 1? Is that right?
A Quiet Place : Day 1. You got the colon is very important in all this.
Yes. The colon's very important.
So this is obviously this is an Unequal Prequel, our second one of the year. Yeah. Yes. And this is a 3rd film in the A Quiet Place franchise. It is now officially, I don't know if it's a franchise or a series, a trilogy now. And very exciting. But this is now a prequel to what happens in A Quiet Place. It's just called A Quiet Place, Part 1.
Yeah.
So... very exciting. Now, what is even more exciting about this is that Rich has never seen A Quiet Place or A Quiet Place Part 2, right?
I have not. I've not seen either of them. So I think this is going to colour my review slightly, potentially. I was thinking about this today. I was like, I think maybe if I had seen those 2, I'd maybe review this movie slightly differently, potentially.
Right.
Because, but I don't. But because I haven't, I can only go on what I've seen, right?
Which is good. I have watched Part 1 and Part 2, and I think they're both good movies. I think the first one's better than the second one. But I remember watching the first one and thinking, wow, that's good, because it's kind of it is a horror / thriller film, sci-fi.
Okay.
It's a bit of everything in there, isn't it, these films?
Yeah. Well, I don't really know. I don't know a lot about them. I know about a silent giving birth scene, and that's about it.
They're very, the the concept, the idea is very familiar, and all of them similar. Basically, there's aliens in Earth, and they attack people through they can only hear extreme sound.
Well, I wouldn't say extreme sound. No,
just sounds. Then
they could they just got a very, very good hearing.
And the other two, the original two with John Constantine.
There are a few things in this movie that don't quite add up in terms of the sounds they can hear. But anyway, we'll talk about that later.
We'll get to that. So you'll do a synopsis for A Quiet Place Day 1, please.
Okay. So there is a woman called Samira who has a terminal cancer diagnosis. We don't know what type of cancer it is. She has a terminal cancer diagnosis, and she is in a hospice. The hospice go out for a day trip to New York to watch a show that turns out is a puppet show. She wasn't very impressed. But what she really wants to do in New York is get pizza. It's very important. The pizza is important.
It is. During
their trip out to New York, wouldn't you know it? Bloody alien invasion, isn't it? Always happens, that sort of thing when you pop to New York, doesn't it? But yeah, they are ultra sensitive hearing aliens. I'm presuming if you've seen A Quiet Place and A Quiet Place Part 2, you know all about these aliens. And this is like, but yeah, they land, and yeah, it's quite, they can hear very well, but presumably can't see, I'm guessing. I don't know. And so Samira has a terminal diagnosis, so she's sort of, I would say, a bit less afraid than everybody else. She's on a mission to go and get her pizza, basically. Everyone else on a mission to escape New York and get on the boats and get away. She's on a mission to get some pizza because she's not really that fussed about living. On her mission, she meets Eric, played by Joseph Quinn, who is an English law student.
From Kent.
From Kent, yes. That's in England. Yeah.
Yep.
And essentially he decides that he's going to help her on her mission to get pizza because, why not? I don't want to spoil it too much, but they go on a mission. That's kind of it, really.
That's pretty much it. We know from the other two films that these alien things don't like water. So that's something that you have picked up. And I think it's actually the part 2.
Yeah.
Can't remember if it's in part 1. We had a lovely time with this film, partially because we found out it was an hour and 39 minutes.
Very nice.
Oh.
Very nice. I would also say about our cinema experience, I had the squeakiest chair in the absolutely possible. And this movie is very quiet.
Very quiet.
I mean, should those aliens have landed, I would have been dead in about 3 seconds because my chair was so fucking noisy.
It was quite annoying. You did really well without moving a lot, though.
I was trying so hard to stay still. Like, there were just points where I just had to move, otherwise my back would have locked out. But I was trying so hard not to move.
This is a film you can't eat snacks in.
No, definitely not. The sound, surprising for a film called A Quiet Place, the sound design is so important.
Right.
And so good. Like, really kind of draws you into the movie. There were times I was generally kind of leaning forward in my seat in anticipation, mainly because of the sound. Wow. It really was that good.
All of them are like that. The use of sound and the lack of sound or the lack of music in places.
Yeah.
They make them play really well. I'm really interested to see how you see about this film, because I don't think you going in were interested or...
No, not really. No. I mean, it's not a film, it's not a franchise that's ever really grabbed me.
Why is that?
The concept. I don't know, really. I'm not sure. I just never got round to it. I think, horror movie, I've always thought it was kind of like a horror movie, and it sort of put me off.
Ooh. It is not.
But this isn't. And I can't, like I say, I haven't seen the other two, so I can't really comment. But this is more of a thriller, I would say, than a horror, potentially. It's got horror elements, but definitely more of a thriller for me. And what I can't comment on, which is annoying because we do this on prequels quite a lot, is what this adds to the other two, or what kind of how this sits between the other two movies, because I haven't seen those movies. But I would say I enjoyed it. I was engaged. I've got some issues. Don't get me wrong, but I think the the performances of the two main characters, Lupita Nyong'o and Joseph Quinn, I thought were really good. They kind of really draw you in.
They were great together, I thought.
Especially Samira's character. I really like her. I would watch more of that character, essentially. Obviously, she's got terminal cancer. We're not going to get more of her. And that's not really a spoiler because you know she's got terminal cancer from the first minute of the movie kind of thing. So I'm not spoiling it for you. But I found it really engaging and actually kind of wanted a bit more. It's almost... I know we always want a 90-minute movie, but... kind of felt a bit too short.
Well, sometimes we want a 90-minute movie because we need to fit it into our daytimes, right?
True.
And this one kicked off at 4:20 and we were back home by 7. And that is nice. So it's very nice.
I was back home by 6:30, dude.
Yeah. So that was lovely. But I can totally understand what you mean, that this is lovely that it was short and it plays well, but it also could have done with another 10, 15, 20 minutes maybe just to iron out a few things. And
I sort of felt the pacing was slightly off. Like we didn't get enough time of Eric and Samira together, I don't
You don't know how long they were in certain places for.
No, they seemed to bond really quickly. Like, you know, it just kind of happened very fast. And maybe that's because of the situation, but
I think if you're in that situation and you're able to survive, which me and you worked out we would not be able to survive.
Oh, God, no. God, no, I'd be dead the minute I fell asleep because my snoring would bring the aliens from miles.
So we're fucked. So that is a complaint I've read somewhere, and another complaint I've read that it hasn't got enough star power. And I thought that's ridiculous.
No,
to show these people some respect because this woman's won an Oscar, for fuck's sake. So,
well, yeah, and I mean it's completely not true. Like, the performances are the best things about this movie. They are incredible.
You have to rely quite heavily on those performances.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you're with those characters, 95% of the time?
Yeah.
I know what is the James Quinn character? Is his name James Quinn?
Joseph Quinn.
Joseph Quinn. I'm making up names again.
His character's name's Eric.
He doesn't turn up for about, I don't know, 25, 30 minutes this film?
At least, yeah, a good half an hour, I'd say. So you get a good chunk of sort of learning about Samira and seeing her in the kind of the hospice and, you know, her relationship with her nurse, who's played by Alex Wolff, who you know from
Pig, the director of
Pig,
who directed Michael
Sinofsky.
Thank you. Did the brilliant Pig.
Yeah, the director of this movie directed Pig. Yeah, Alex Wolff's in Pig, and he's also in Jumanji and
Hereditary as well.
Yeah, I've not seen that.
Wow, you should see him in Hereditary. He goes through it in that.
Old as well.
Yes.
Is it Old he's in? Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Hey, we're doing well here.
We are doing well.
We are doing well.
He was in Oppenheimer as well, wasn't he?
Everyone was in Oppenheimer. Was he in Oppenheimer? Everyone was at least in it for like 15 seconds at least.
Yeah. Anyway, you'll know who Alex Wolff is. I sort of thought they were going to be the main characters, but that's not the case. And Samira and him part ways quite early. And Eric doesn't kind of come into it, until I'd say about half an hour in.
Yeah, I was
kind of waiting. Which in a 90-minute movie is a good chunk, right?
It's a long time. We're also missing another character.
Are we?
The cat.
Oh, okay.
Frodo.
So Frodo the cat sort of gets me into that. That's some of the things that I have a slight issue with in this movie.
Okay.
So I think the main issue I have with the movie is the pacing. Like we said, is that it's nice to have a 90-minute movie, but also I feel like the pacing of this movie is off because you feel like you need more of the characters and you just kind of need to know a little bit more about them. I think just that little bit more.
Yes.
But the other thing that gets me is how the fuck is that cat still alive? And how does it keep magically coming back to them? Is that how cats work? I don't know how cats work. I've never had a cat. But honestly, the cat seems a bit, I don't know, it just seems a bit stupid. Like the whole... It frustrated me, the cat. What honest.
Does she call the cat? It's for health reasons.
It's like a emotional support cat.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the cat felt very much like the cat in Alien. Just
I suppose,
kept being a problem for other people.
True, yeah. The cat caused a lot of problems. I would have got rid of the cat. I'd have fucked the cat off way early. Like, I would have been like, sorry, cat, you are causing me issues here. Like, I'm out.
I agree with that. Yes. I think that a lot of people might be going to this film thinking why the aliens come to Earth or whatever. That's not
none of that.
Again, that's none of that.
Yeah, that's another part of my problem is that everyone seems to get to grips with these aliens really fucking quickly. Like, everyone seems to understand the lore and what these aliens are, and the fact that they can't see very well and they can hear very well. That all comes like real quick. Like, everyone seems to understand that. Like, I haven't seen the other two movies, so I guess maybe that's because the audience already know the lore of the aliens kind of thing.
I imagine that would be it, yes.
But the characters know that stuff almost already. Like, it's picked up so fast. Like, I don't know, it just seems a bit...
Or what's
like
his
the
face?
pacing's off again.
I can't remember the name of the actor, the brilliant actor.
Dimon Honsu.
Yes. He gets to grip with it very quickly. He has like I would say, glorified cameo in this film. Now, is he in the second one?
He is in the second one. I looked it up because you said about that when we'd watched it. Because I asked Dave, are any of these characters in the later movies? And you were like, no, but I think Jimon Honsu might be. So I looked it up, and he is in the second one.
Okay, that's a nice link, I guess. But yeah, there's a bit when he wakes up her and instantly is like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, shh. Like, they it's figured out real fast. I think there would be a lot more kind of crazy panic, and there's one scene of a guy panicking, and that's sort of it, really.
I don't know. A lot of people get off pretty quickly while making noises.
Yeah, but there's no one's really kind of fumbling around and not.
There's no explanation of two people or a group going, I think it's because they're hearing really well.
Well, and
is that what you wanted? A group discussion of them just saying, let's just stay quiet.
Yeah, there wasn't any of that, was there? There were these handy exposition devices of helicopters flying over making announcements.
That's true.
Like, that's just like, that's very convenient. Like, but how did you figure this out? They're flying over going, the creatures cannot swim. Get underwater. The creatures cannot swim. And you're like, how'd you know that? How'd you figure that one out? Like, I don't know. It's just a bit like wild. I mean, come on. Us as humans as a species, we're not very quick to adapt. Let's be honest.
We're quite dumb.
Like, I cannot imagine a group of people in New York twigging it out that quickly. Like, I don't know. It's just, I needed a bit more fumbling around, not understanding what was going on personally.
But did you still enjoy it?
Yeah. I absolutely enjoyed it. I had a really good time.
This is amazing.
It was fun. I enjoyed this movie. I'm just highlighting at the moment some of the issues that I have with it, which are mainly pacing based.
I loved at the end when you turned to me and went, I quite enjoyed that. And I was like, bloody hell, Rich.
I know, right? I wasn't expecting to.
No, it looks I think it looks really good as well.
Oh, it does. It looks good. The sound is great. The performances are great. I would say what's light is probably the plot essentially is relatively light.
I think the previous two do a lot of work for that, like you said. But this is the first time you've sat and watched one of these films, and you've kind of gathered quickly what's going on. But then you're also presuming that a lot of this has been taken care of.
I'm presuming in the other two movies, a lot of this knowledge is imparted. But you've got to remember these characters are coming into this fresh, so they don't have any knowledge. So you would expect to kind of, I don't know, a little bit more. I'd also say there's some quite big inconsistencies about how sensitive to sound the aliens are.
Yes.
Like, literally, like, hundreds of them come running when a character drops a book, but, like, nobody turns up when someone, like, knocks a glass over or, like, crunches in some glass and stuff.
There is a lot of crunching they don't hear and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's a bit kind of inconsistent, and I don't know if that's explained later that they hear certain sounds more than others or something, but I don't know. I
don't want to give anything away to you or the listeners, to be honest, but they do find certain things out in the other films.
Okay.
But I would really recommend. Do you have any inkling to go and watch those films now?
Yeah, I do actually.
That's great.
I would quite like to watch those two now. So yeah, I might do that this weekend, in fact, if I've got time.
This episode is brought to you by Skinny Pop Popcorn. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Oh, so light and crunchy. Skinny Pop Original Popcorn is the snack you've been searching for. Made with just 3 simple ingredients: popcorn kernels, sunflower oil, and salt. Snacking never felt or tasted so good. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Give yourself permission to snack and pick up Skinny Pop Original Popcorn today.
Famously, me and Rich are very different when it comes to jump scares.
Yes. Yeah, we are, yeah. I normally have... If I go to a scary movie, you'll get me once.
Yes,
that's normally about
and that's it.
Yeah.
Even in bad films, you'll get me all the time. So Insidious Red Door, for instance. So there are instances in this film that do that. And I think I jumped at all of them.
Yeah, I think so, probably. I only did it one. There was a. I can't remember what it was. It was like quite an insignificant scene as well, I think.
It was like a dream sequence scene, waking up from a dream, kind of.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and I just purely wasn't expecting it, and it got me.
But there are others that these things pop out, and you're like, ah, stop it.
You were.
I was.
didn't. Again, I didn't find.
Was it scary for you?
No, that's what I was going to say. I didn't find the aliens that scary. I mean, I did come out of it. My overriding thing to come out of it would be like, I would be fucked after 3 minutes. Like, essentially, like, I'd cough, or I'd fart, or I'd sneeze, or something.
There is no farting in these films, and that is the most unrealistic thing. When I get nervous, I fart. So, scared, I'm gone, man.
Yeah. No one burps.
No one's got hay fever.
I thought there was one point where Joseph Quinn was going to sneeze, but he was having a bit of a panic attack. So,
yeah,
I was like, "Oh no, is he going to sneeze?" I was like, "No, it's just a panic attack. It's fine."
Yeah. So not scary, but entertaining.
Yeah.
Gripping. I think it's gripping.
I think it is gripping because the music makes it gripping, and I think the lack of music makes it gripping. Actually, I think the sound makes it gripping.
That whole concept of that you can't make a sound is terrifying.
Yeah, I've never been to such a quiet cinema before.
It is a film. You honestly, guys, don't take snacks.
Don't take snacks.
Marshmallows, maybe.
Marshmallow. Even then, like, people would hear you. Like, oh.
Yeah, no murmuring, nothing like that. It's good. I think if there is something at the beginning that happens at the beginning of the first film that sets the tone for all of these films, pretty much.
Right. Okay.
For how scary these things are.
Right. Gotcha.
And the levels of threat.
Yeah.
So until you've seen that scene, I think.
Yeah.
And then that scene makes you terrified for the rest of what's going on.
Right. So they're not killing people to eat them, though, right? They're killing people to get rid of them, I'm guessing.
This is a question. It's never answered because they don't talk. So
yeah. So you can't know.
But what is the motive of?
Yeah.
The thing? I mean, they must have arrived on Earth accidentally because they're not in spaceships. They're in, aren't they? Like meteors. They're not.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, they're just
exactly.
Kind of
Don't go into this film thinking, I wonder why these things are here, because that's still not answered.
Essentially landing fiery balls from the sky.
Yes,
right.
I don't think they're sent. They're not a first wave like Independence Day or anything like that. It's a very different end of world apocalypse film than that. And so don't go looking for answers because you don't. But as a prequel of seeing an initial attack, I think it's pretty good. Does it add anything to the series for me?
I don't know.
That's what I say. For me, I don't think it does, but not like, because not any answers or questions, but for entertainment value, this is nice. This is good. Like you said, these actors are good.
So, but yes, I get that. My question to you, I guess, is if it doesn't tell you anything more, is it just a rehash of the other two movies?
I would say it's a bit different because the other two movies are not in a city. and you see less.
That, but I mean, story-wise,
story-wise, well, the story-wise, like you said, in this is a very personal journey between a woman trying to get her pizza. There is more to that. We're not going to ruin it though. So, good question, Rich. Actually, like, is it needed?
Yeah, exactly. Is it needed? Because normally, I think for a prequel, you want something that sort of explains, gives you that bit more about the other movies you've seen. Whereas I wonder, because this doesn't do that, I wonder if when I watch the next two, will I think, well, the prequel doesn't add anything. The prequel's just, the prequel's nice. I enjoyed it.
Yes.
Doesn't kind of, does it give anything to the story?
Does it give you any more information about these creatures?
Exactly, and that's sort of why I was asking if the characters are any of the characters are in the prequels, because is it how Eric survived the city and then he's in the others in the other movies? But no is the answer to that. So yeah, I feel a bit kind of like I don't know because I haven't seen the others, but I've got a feeling that it's one of those prequels that are nice but don't add anything.
Yes.
Don't make anything worse, but they don't make anything better either.
Yes, I agree. I think it would be hard for the makers to try and give the aliens a background, though, and I don't think that's needed. I think that's what makes it slightly more scary.
That isn't really what I meant. I sort of meant more of like how...
I get you.
I guess what would have been better. So there's at one point there's a character with a radio and a globe, and it's got stickers on the globe, and I'm thinking that's where she's saying all the aliens have landed.
Yes,
right?
Yeah, I liked that.
I would I didn't, because I would sort of say is what I'd want from this is the aliens landed in New York, and how did they get out and spread across the rest of the world potentially?
I thought they didn't land just in New York. I think they landed a lot of places.
Yeah. So they landed everywhere because from that, I absolutely get that. But what I would say is that if you're going to, what I would presume it was going to add to the story is either you get some character development of characters who are in the other parts, which isn't the case, or you get some development about how the alien invasion spread. That'd be interesting. But you don't get that either.
Yeah, we'll probably get another. This is now going to be a franchise, isn't it? I think we're going to get a Quiet Place : Day 74, London, or something like that.
Well, I think most of this was actually filmed in London, right? As far as I understand it. Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of it was filmed in London because they've Joseph Quinn's been on lots of stuff. I think some of it was filmed in New York, but I think a lot of it was...
Oh, New York's never New York in a lot of the films, to be honest.
No, but I think some of it was New York, but I think a lot of it was London.
For tax reasons and stuff.
Well, I imagine so, yeah, probably. But overall, in terms of a standalone movie and not taking the other two into account, I enjoyed it.
Yep.
And that bodes well for the other two, I guess.
Shall we Rotten Tomato game quickly?
Yeah, go on, let's do it.
Okay, thank you to the sequelizers. I'm not going to do the higher or lower between the three films because obviously you haven't seen the other two. So we're just going to go with A Quiet Place Day 1. So there's 155 reviews so far, critic-wise.
That's quite a lot because we're very early. Like literally it came out 2 days ago.
We saw it opening day. That's very rare for us.
Okay. Again, it's quite hard because I've not seen it in context of the other two movies. But if I take this just as a standalone thing of its own, it's got to be it's definitely a 3 out of 5 movie as far as I'm concerned. So I would imagine it's reasonably high percentage wise. But I also think there are going to be some people that don't like it. So I'm going to say 74.
It currently stands at 84.
Okay, that's good. I'm happy with that. I'm glad it's higher than that. I was going to say something in the 80s, and I tempered it back, thinking I bet there's cynical critics out there who don't like it because they don't like it.
Someone from the Toronto Star wrote, "It's not a bad movie, certainly one worth watching, but it's also not as inventive as it could and should have been." Yeah,
I think that's probably true. Because I think there's more to be had there, but also I sort of quite like the relatively simple story too.
Yeah, it was really nice that I didn't have to switch on so much.
Yeah,
and like you said, for 90 minutes or 99 minutes, it's quite a pleasant ride. And that,
yeah, absolutely.
we both said the same thing. We'd like a bit more ironing out. Audience scores. There's currently only 500 plus scores, so not a massive amount.
I think audience score will be in the 80s as well. I'm going with 82.
73.
Oh, piss. Basically got the two the wrong way around.
Well, you're becoming a critic, that's why. Someone's put too slow, not enough information about where the aliens came from and for the beginning of a movie. I don't think we're ever going to find that information out.
No, I don't think we need the information of where they came from, but I would like some information about... I would like a bit more, like, of, you know... Yeah, I'd like. I don't think you necessarily need to know where the aliens came from, but I would like a bit more of like how we understand.
They're
more
like a
about
pack
them.
of dogs. It's not like there's a big leader.
Yeah,
somewhere.
exactly. Like I get that, but
I'm not having got you. I'm talking about the.
Yeah, no, I know. But humans have to learn about them.
Yeah, absolutely.
They have to spread across the globe somehow, and that's the bit I think's missing.
Especially when they can't go over water. Someone's put movie was a solid 3 out of 10, terrible, and then loads of people have put perfect movie. I loved it, another masterpiece, 5 stars, exciting and a great ending, 5 stars.
Also, I wouldn't say it's not 5 stars, but it's also not 3 out of 10.
I really enjoy just sitting in a cinema with tension sometimes.
Yeah, it was good.
And this is a great use of doing that. I mean, so a lot of films try and build tension and do it horribly, but these films do it very well, and I enjoy that a lot. And I enjoy these films because I am a bit of a scaredy cat, and these are for me a little bit scary in some places. I mean, they're not terrifying, like but I quite like.
I'm not
going
to have nightmares about it.
And there's nice little dotted jokes around, which are always fun, and it relies heavily on the cast being good, and the cast are good in this film, and I do appreciate that. And as a prequel, it could do a bit more, but in terms of a franchise, very nice another entry of that. I think you should go watch them, and then we can talk about a little bit in the end of month roundup in the end of July if you've got time.
Deal.
I think people, the listeners, might be interested to see your thoughts, and then it'd be interesting to see you answer your own question about. I think that'd be really interesting. I'll be if I was a listener, I'd like to hear that.
Okay.
And so
I will do
good.
that.
Thank you. Unequal Prequel and out of 7.
I don't know because I haven't seen the others.
Fair
so
point.
I don't know if it's unequal or not. Do we know what the budget was actually?
Have a look.
Go on to that. Oh, 67 million. So not that high. And I understand that because the aliens, you don't get a lot of the aliens. They're hidden in dust and mist.
I think you get
often.
more aliens in this film than you do in the other films.
Well, I haven't seen the other ones.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just letting you know.
But compare the budget to A Quiet Place, the first one. That budget was 17 million. So this is a big jump up.
1-7. Wow, that film looks good.
Big jump up from that.
That's a surprise.
And A Quiet Place 2, Part 2, the budget was blah 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 blah. Let's have a look. 160 million. Oh no. That's what it took. It hasn't got the budget. It hasn't got the budget on here. It's got that was the US and Canada gross.
Oh, okay. But I said that was a jump.
So yeah, I don't know what the Quiet Place 2 budget was, but I imagine between 17 and 60.
Some way, yeah. They're not gonna make it suddenly about $100 million, unless the actors in it, John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, were like, we're going to pay ourselves shitloads now.
Yeah, it's definitely not $160 million budget. I don't get that. Yeah.
So
anyway, so 67 million. I think this is a really good movie, and I think this is the kind of budget that movies should be working towards.
Yes, I agree with that.
That's the sort of budget because it's got a chance of making a profit.
It seems sensible in a world of films that are making films for like 200 million or whatever.
Yeah,
which seems mad. Okay, score it then.
So score it. I'm pretty positive about it. I don't think it's perfect, so it's not getting into the 6s and 7s, but I think it's solid. I'm going to say like a 4.5. Yeah, I think I'm about there.
I was about to go 4.5 as well. It's very close to a 5.
Yeah, it's very close to a 5. It's almost 4 3/4, if you will.
Rich, I've been going through these. You've been making this shit up all the time with these 3/4. Is it going to be a 4 3/4 for you?
No, I think it's a 4.5. I think it's a 4.5. But verging on a 5. If someone said 5, I wouldn't be, that would be fine.
Yeah. I would say 4.5 as well. And Unequal Prequel, I would say it's equal.
Yeah?
Yeah. I have no ill will towards this film, so it doesn't make me. And if I would go back, I feel like I'd have to watch all of them, and that's a good sign. So, like, if you're watching other trilogies and there's always a bad one, you're like, I'm not currently watching the Beverly Hills Cops films, and I'm like, do I really have to watch number 3? So, with this kind of thing, I'll be like, oh yeah, I'd like to watch that one again. So that's good. 4.5 for me. It is a recommendation for us.
I would say so. I'd also say go and watch it in IMAX.
It was great.
We watched it in the IMAX, and the sound is definitely worth it.
Definitely with a good sound system. The iSense will work very well. I'm not quite sure what the Cineworld equivalent are, to be honest.
I don't know, but yeah, it was definitely worth watching in IMAX.
Yeah, go check it out. Do you want to see us out?
Oh, I suppose I probably shouldn't I? I forgot all about that for a second. Yeah, so if you like what you've heard, if you liked our little review, then we've done reviews of other movies. Most of them I haven't liked this year, so, if you want to hear me being grumpy, go back and listen to those. Whilst you're there, hit the auto-download button, hit the subscribe button, and we'll drop into your pod player of choice at least once a week, twice a week at the moment, because we are in the middle of Season 6. We've got some brilliant guests on this series of the pod, and I'm very excited to what you're going to hear. We've got some really good stuff coming. I like it. If you want to let us know what you thought about A Quiet Place, then get on the social medias. We are on all of them. We're at Unequal Sequel on all those, or just type Unequal Sequel in the search bar and you'll find us. Or you can get on the emails, unequalsequel@hotmail.com. If you want to find out what we thought about other movies, like The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, for example, get yourself onto anotherslice.com/unequal sequel, and you can join our subscription service for just $2.99 a month. You'll get Disenfranchised special editions, you'll get our Box Set Mentality special editions, and you'll also get the sequel sessions, which are sequels to all of the interview episodes we've been doing, not just from the day you subscribe, but you can go back and listen to the archives of the brilliantly produced stuff that Dave has put together. So your $2.99 doesn't just get you the future stuff, it gets you all the stuff from the past as well. So definitely worth it. But yeah, sign up. $2.99 a month, absolute bargain. Please do tell your friends about the pod. If it's your first time listening and you think, oh, this is all right, please let people know. The more people we can get to listen, the more people find us, the more money we can invest back into the pod that we make through the adverts. It just gets better and better, and we get better and better guests, and you have a better and better time listening. So it's a win-win, really. But yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it from us.
Good job. Well done, sir. I've got nothing else to say apart from thank you for listening. Send in all your thoughts so we can talk about it in the end of month roundup. I do want to hear those. So thank you for them. And it's a bye-bye from me. So bye-bye. And a goodbye from him.
Bye!
See you on the next one. Sequel to this one. Have a good week. Bye-bye. Did you know we did not drop one spoiler in that?
Didn't we?
Don't think so. I think that's a spoiler-free review.
Wow. Check us out.
Wow.
We are impressive.
I'm not quite sure if people come for spoiler-free reviews or they come for spoiler reviews.
I hope they don't come for spoiler-free reviews because we don't manage it very often.
We're very poor at it. We try really hard.